So what up?
We're
Welcome
back.
back, my Vainglorians, well again, no more Halcyon folders.
Halcyon folders.
So sad.
But we have the Sovereign Risers.
Sovereign Risers.
It's good. Sovereign
Yeah.
Risers.
True that. Anyways, before we do start, again, welcome back to the Mobile Esports Arena Vainglory 5v5 for the month of June. My name is Asra, and of course, here with me now is...
Y2K, and
Yep.
the match that we will be bringing you is, this is very interesting, Elite8 Esports versus Leprechauns.
Elite8, of course, is a very known team in the Southeast Asia region, and there was a message on my Facebook page saying, please do shoutouts the Vainglory Philippines official fan group. So, of course, big shoutouts to you guys out there who are now tuning in and enjoying, Vainglory, also watching with us right now. Much love, guys, to everybody there. Gratitude to all. And once again, we'll be playing on or rather, we'll be competing or watching casting in the patch 3.4 with Kinetic being already released. And of course, this tournament is being organized by Bren Pro, and you can follow them at their social media accounts: facebook.com/mobile esports arena, youtube.com/MeSA official, that's MESA official, and same with Twitch, twitch.tv/MeSA official.
I still feel bad for the 3.4 patch because Echo is gone. And I usually use Echo and the big red button of Jewel.
You do that?
Yeah. Crystal Power and then Echo. There we go. We are now hearing.
Yes, we are hearing the thing that you hear when we get into the drafting phase, of course.
Interesting lineup. The usual one. It's the first time I'm seeing Mr. Like God and Mawar Hitam on Elite8. I think it is the first time I saw that. I'm seeing Handy Jaegers and Hein, official Hein.
Of course. The backbone of Elite8. Anyways, there's gonna be the Grace Ban and the Reza Lyra as well. I was talking, actually we'll be already having, of course, our prime caster in Vainglory, Fang, joining us later on. I did ask him what are the possible meta picks right now. He did say that Lyra has been overused in the previous patches, so she has been nerfed in 3.4, but it seems like people still love to use her. And again, like I said, she could have a good synergy with the new item. But of course, official Hein immediately taking for himself that Kinetic.
Probably this will be handled by Handy Jaegers. I'm not sure. Or probably Hein will do it, but Kinetic is being hovered right now by Elite8. But Leprechauns answered back with a Baron and a Samuel pick. What are your thoughts on this picks?
Again, like I said, the possibility of a Kinetic. I mean, from the looks of it, again, and she's a new hero here. She might not know how to counter her, but from what I've seen, or from what I've just through her skill set, is that having something that can burst her down, or maybe even outrange her in terms of the Baron, might be a really good pick to kind of put her out of commission early, or at least once we start to fight, she won't be able to reach you. But look at that. That is...
I knew it. Handy Jaegers with the magical Kinetic. And probably Oranophobia will get the Kensei.
Yeah.
So two new heroes at the side of Elite8. Meanwhile, Leprechauns answer back with the Rona and with the Gwen pick. Oh, a Finn and an Arden. Any thoughts about that one?
I mean, since there's no more Echo, I'm kind of not sure what this is about. Although, Finn, once you see the Rona and the Samuel, which is relatively two close range type of heroes, you kind of want the Finn to at least be in the middle of that, kind of be that body block hero there. So that could be a reason why. And even though if you have the Crucible to kind of deny the possibility of the Force Accord, if you do that, there's the possibility that the Gauntlet might not be countered by the Crucible. So that's something that, kind of like the double redundant crowd control, just so that, since there's no more Echo, at least you have something that you can use for catching off your opponents. But now you can see our teams here. We will be seeing Scarf as well for Elite8.
And on the other side, the last pick will be the Fortress. So possibility of they really want a chase capability, but on the other hand, with the Scarf and the Finn, this may really lead problems to Leprechauns. And I'm seeing the really cute skin of Scarf here. This is the new rainbow white Scarf skin. It looks like a cat or something.
So Kiat Meow.
Kiat.
And big shout outs to Fang for being our awesome observer here as we get into the Sovereign's Rise. Let's give a quick rundown for our teams. For Elite 8, we'll be having Mawar Hidam on the Kansei, Mr. Like God on this Scarf, Runophobia with the Finn, Hunt Jaegers on the Kinetic, and Official Hein as our Arden.
For the Leprechauns, we have Kelvin the Great as a Rona, Bebang, I don't know, that's Samuel, Nismo 300 as a Gwen, Liam Rich as the Baron, and the last pick will be the Russell 21 as the Fortress, who will be commencing on this first round, the first game of the tournament. This is a MeSA Vainglory 5v5 tournament for the month of June. Let's do this.
Oh, so they also delayed the spawnings of the camps. I have not, again, seen that yet from the previous patches, but in any case, that's gonna at least let us start with a 2 versus 2 in the mid, as well as the bottom side here, or the Ghostwing lane. Crystal Trail will be contested immediately by Hun Jaegers and Oranophobia.
So while they're contesting this, for some reason, Russell and Bebang, I don't know, I'll just call him Bebang, trying to get the crystal, but Han Diego secures for himself.
Yeah, definitely a must needed just to counter out that power output that the Samuel has. If I'm not mistaken, even though once he hit that level 2 spike, he's very abusive with his, how do you say this, spam on that Malice and Verdict, so you gotta be careful on being able to deal with that. On the Black Claw lane, though, is going to be a Gwen and Scarf matchup. Not really sure, but I feel like Gwen should have a bit of a, how do you say this, an advantage against the Scarf, just because of how oppressive she is, especially with non-crowd control type of heroes, even though Scarf does have some slows. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a stun, so, you know.
It's like, both of them have an advantage. Like, Gwen has a Skedaddle that she can use anytime if she is in a tight spot. On the other hand, the Scarf has the Goo and the Fireball burst at the same time. And this will be viable for the Scarf to push the turret early on in the game after 4 minutes when the barrier is gone.
Now, Kensei, Swordsman in the bottom lane against the Arden. Lots of dashes on this guy, and or rather, sorry, Baron. And Baron, not really the best, I guess, matchup for this one. That's why you're seeing this more rotations from the Rona just to keep his comrade safe. Baron does have at least the jump jets, but after that, Kensei can still follow through. So again, he's got to be cautious about that one. 3-man rotation collapse in the mid lane, and look at that, the Quibble actually pulling back everyone in and puts a lot of good damage on Russell as well as Bebang.
I'm not really seeing action in the top lane currently, but Kelvin trying to chase the Kansai here. Probably they want really to rotate like Han Jaegers and Hein is doing, denying as much jungle camps as possible for Leprechauns.
And as much as possible is, I think, the right term for this one, Y2K, because if you can see it, even though we aren't seeing any kills right now, the oppression that Elite 8 is doing is already making a number on that gold lead. 2,000 already from just getting all of these camps. And CS-wise in the lanes, it seems like it's also the same thing. Kensei 23 on that Scarf, it's a 21. And everyone else here from the side of Leprechauns is down 50 or below 15 CS, which is not really a good indicator.
And speaking of jungle camps and the gold leads, the Gold Oak is one of the jungle monsters that can make a game changer in the gold advantage early on to the game, because it gives you, I think, 180 gold, both of the players that is nearby the depth of the Gold Oak.
Yeah, another thing that I guess I kind of haven't really spotted out during the drafting is I was looking more at the interactions again on the team fights here, but like rotation-wise in the early game, it seems like having the Arden and the Finn, two big, you know, bruisers rotating in the jungle, having good crowd control and fighting capabilities is just really that good to push everybody out. And look at that damage onto Bebang as Hun Jaegers goes a little bit wild with the max stacks on this connect. This could be the first blood. One more shot and there you go. There he gets it. And could even be a second kill here as Russell is a little bit ways out of position there. Could be even a triple if Bebang is just a bit too overly aggressive on that mid.
That's what we're talking about. That's the stack of the perk of Kinetic can really give you a pain and hard time to to duel her with her.
Yeah.
And especially with the plasma. I think this is a plasma cannon. I'm not mistaken. And with the enhancement on the dash. Most especially if she is supported well with the Arden and a proper follow up with the Finn right here. Meanwhile, Finn is being just bruised here in the mid lane.
I mean, he's just going to be absorbing XP there, which I think he really wants to. Once he hits that level 6 and you don't have your Crucible yet for Leprechauns here, it's going to be a quick and easy force to core there to pull everybody. And of course, he's just, I think, delaying the wave so that Jaegers doesn't miss any form of CS there. So, again, this is just clear, methodical playstyle for Elite 8. And as he actually loses a little bit of HP on mid, look at how he rotates, and there's no much contention here from Leprechauns, but there's going to be a 4-man invade there. Gauntlet activated here, and there's going to be a huge fight in the mid. Jaegers uses his ultimate there, pops out the Samuel, falls up onto the Baron, and this is pandemonium starting for Leprechauns as Elite 8 claim their 4th victim.
Properly timed Gauntlet over there, claiming the life of the Baron. And not good idea for Elite 8, not really overextending because the turret is still in perfect health, and Leprechauns might be having a hard time if the Arden at the same time Finn goes online.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy thing to kind of happen. No level 6 yet for. I mean, there's no one who's level 6 yet here for the side of Leprechauns, and bottom side, it seems like the Baron's not going to be able to escape at all as Mawar hit him, just goes and, hits him. Yeah, pun intended. So that's actually going to be pretty good for them. And this is pretty bad because, again, in Vainglory, there's much more emphasis. I feel like there's much more emphasis as well once you have those spikes in your level 6s. And that's going to be another kill onto the fortress there. The dog has been leashed. Ow, woo. And, yeah.
Again, we see the capability already of the free attacking Kinetic over here behind the Jaegers, especially if the stacks is full. Let's see the capability of the fully stacked Kinetic later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, weapon power. It's kind of weird though how her shots are colored blue. So at first glance, you kind of think that she's crystal power, but it's just me. Maybe I'm just weird anyways. But Jaegers, he's on a whole other place right now. He's having, he's on cloud 9 right now. He's just looking, you know what, I don't even care that I'm beneath 2 turrets here, or between 2 turrets rather. I'm just gonna go in ham while our Scarf on the top lane is gonna be solo pushing the wave, and look at that, he explodes onto the Samuel. Say goodbye, and Mawar here is looking for a bit more.
I think he used the ultimate for that one, scouting. Probably he instantly deleted. Meanwhile, Scarf, like I've said, he can really push the turret as fast as possible because of the goo and the fireball combination. It's like 2 turrets for him so far, and might be going for the 3rd, and the bang bang. I don't know. Just trying to poke out Mr. Light God here.
I feel like the difficulty here right now for Leprechauns is that if you look at their composition, it feels like there is good team fight, but if you kind of try to look at the synergy more, I think the synergy kind of lies if they start to snowball. But there wasn't any snowball potential for any of them because of how quick Elite 8 was to kind of building a comp that is, again, oppressive in the early game. And, because of that, it feels like there's nobody coming online right now for Leprechauns, and I don't think it's going to be easy for them to kind of do that because Kinetic is just on a freaking rampage. Spin to win for the Rona, but she only got her item, so her damage is really, really low right now. And look at this.
Damage.
The Finn is so tanky. Nobody is taking him down. His HP has been going up and down with the shields.
Looking at that one, the burst damage again from Jaegers with a properly sided from Hein and Randophobia here. And there we go. A snipe. A snipe kill, courtesy of Jaegers again, doing his job.
Doing his job overtime, whatever you want to call it. he is just on a roll. Heat up that kinetic because, you know, nowadays says that kinetic is the moving force, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong? Actually, I don't feel I'm wrong. Anyways,
Either way.
Jaeger's using his mind a little bit. He knows that it's all over for, you know, for Leprechauns here, so he's just gonna go ham, bait them into kind of get the kill on the kinetic, which is fine, all in dandy. And while the other members will actually do the damage, Kensei and Scarf are on the forefront for that, as they put so much more into the follow-up, the burst on the Scarf, or rather the flames for the Scarf. It's actually going rainbow with that new Scarf skin, but no armories have been taken just yet.
So probably, I don't think that they are probably game the game, but maybe they are letting Leprechaun have their time to recover, and they will strike whenever the force is complete.
Actually, I just noticed this. Official Hein is on a weapon power Arden.
With a tension bow.
Yeah, so it's not out of the ordinary, but I'm just kind of feeling like I thought that they were gonna go for maybe like 2 captains tile build here, you know, with the 2 supports, but it don't matter. I mean, there's just too much
Burst damage.
Snowball already, that Official Hein can build whatever he wants, and it's just going to be even more difficult here for Leprechauns to kind of catch up, because they're not only thinking about 3 people who have damage, it's 4 people now.
And Urano Povia is the usual build together with a new item. And yep, there you go, the fight going on right now. The Oblivion Mist now chasing right now. Need to be careful because of Samuel's poke and everything, and they will just back off for now.
Damage-wise, item-wise, Samuel already has only the Eve of Harvest, so in terms of that department, he's not going to be too good. Oh, look at that! No body blocks at all as Han Jaegers hones in onto his opponent with that ultimate, and there was supposed to be a flank, but the flank got flanked, and the flankception forced the cord there, but Irana will not connect onto anybody, but of course, it's just a little bit of a cherry on top if you got that one, as they are starting to work down at those armories in Y2K. This could be
the match
game number
point.
1. Yeah, exactly.
So, as we see, one of the factors that lead them to this is letting the Scarf do his job at the top lane, melting the turrets, and as much as possible, they let Han Jaegers engage in the team fights.
Yeah.
Like, he needs positioning, like, this is kinetic. He needs a lot of stacks. He needs someone who can watch his back, or watch her back rather. And that will lead them to 19-2, game set, Elite 8, first game.
First game indeed. I mean, excuse me. I mean, it just felt like there wasn't much contestation in the early game. And after that, it was all pretty simple for Elite 8. Just keep repeating that formula. And, I mean, Leprechauns couldn't match up the rotation, or at least the comp that Elite 8 built for the early game.
Exactly. And early on in the game, as you noticed, we talked about earlier, Elite 8 is very aggressive, not only in the laning phase, but in the jungle side, denying as much gold and experience as possible to Leprechauns. That's one of the factors that led them away, or being the team being gapped.
Exactly. I mean, we were talking about how they actually, it seems like they kind of answered what Elite 8 was supposed to do theoretically from the looks of it, but once they kind of applied that, or at least if Leprechauns didn't try to contest that, it wouldn't really work. So again, I think like most of their heroes that they picked were a bit more on the item dependent side.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it kind of seemed like it was alright if Elite 8 was going to be on a passive type of standpoint, but they weren't. They were on the offensive, and it just went to, to oblivion.
Exactly. And like you said, they're item dependent, especially Baron and Samuel. It's really item dependent, especially if you're going to spike in mid to late game.
Yeah. And we are already on our second draft. And again, guys, this is a best of 3 if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. Alright, so now Leprechauns will be on the blue side, as they ban immediately from the get-go to Kensei, not really knowing how to deal with that. Immediately just, get it off of the table, get it off of your chests. It's all good. It's all bad, rather, if it actually gets through the pickings here.
It's like they answer back with a grace. Like, they don't want really to deal with the grace early on in the game, especially with if this will be a tank or a captain grace, especially with the new items introduced. Like, she can really benefit
Yeah.
on the new items.
I'm also thinking, like, if you take away at the Grace, which other control tanks do you have right now? Arden and the Finn. I think this is more of a mind game for Elite 8. Like, if you don't get any of these heroes away from us, we'll pick them again and replicate what we did on game number 1.
Exactly.
So, if you don't pick that, it's going to be very difficult to deal with those. Again, heavy 80 or heavy crowd controls, but they go for the Vox, so I don't know.
Crystal Power Vox. Ooh, it's hovering again. There we go, the kinetic. I probably don't. Speaking of the tank captain or the crowd control captain, don't count out Katarine over there.
Yes.
Katarine together with the Blast Tremor and the Chase of the Stun. Ooh, this is interesting. Lorelei and kinetic.
Okay, so lots of long-range controls there with good amounts of auto-attack poke, but we see ourselves a Maline and a Gwen once again. I'm not really sure why you kind of want to go for these heavy auto-attackers. It might not be the best, but again, I'm not sure what the Leprechaun has in mind when that starts. Taka!
This is interesting. Because Taka is kind of probably balanced in the new patch. Like, let's see how Elite 8 will develop in this one. Speaking of the Bang Bang, will probably... I think there's a Malin. Malin jungle?
They can still swap, so we'll just have to see.
So again, with the Orden. Elite 8 answering back with the Orden. Ooh, this is really...
This is
interesting. Ringo and the Finn.
Alright.
And meanwhile, Flicker. Is this a Flicker? This is one of Fang's favorite, Flicker.
Wonder what build he's gonna go for, because I've heard a couple of like cheeky Flicker builds, but never mind. It's gonna be Tony. Okay.
I think they will probably go for that, probably for a tongue gauntlet combo, or the jump in gauntlet. I don't know. And anything under the box for Elite 8 will do. Leprechauns. Oh, this will be really a Maline jungle. Again, the jungle's response has been a little bit balanced. The first thing that will respond is the Trent Orbs or the Trent Orbs or whatever you call it, and then following up with the rest of the jungle camps. And it's delayed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for them right now. And again, this is game 2 already. Elite 8 versus Leprechauns. Elite 8 with the lead for Mobile Esports Arena 5v5 Vainglory tournament for the month of June. So, really nice skins, all of those.
Again, 20,000 pesos on the line for our teams here. Imagine that. 5 people, 20,000. That's around 4K per person in terms of Filipino peso. But anyways, game number 2 has commenced. Rundown once again. Leprechauns will be having Russell on the Finn, Liam Rich. Liam Rich on this Ringo, Nismo 300 with the Gwen, Bang on the Maline, and Kelvin the Great on the Vox.
Meanwhile, Elite 8, we have here official Hein as the Taka, Han the Jaegers with the Lorelei, Uranophobia, Tony, Mr. Like God with the Arden, and this is a new one. It's Mawar Hitam with the Kinetic. Who will win the second round will we find out right about now.
At least now they have a much beefier hero here, kind of holding hands with this Vox in the mid side or the middle lane, as Taka and Kinetic on the Black Claw area. So it seems right now that Elite 8 has been putting more bodies where the Crystal Power Treant is going to spawn. So this is just a very kind of basic tactic for them, and it seems like Leprechauns
again very aggressive.
Exactly. They're not kind of or Leprechauns isn't countering this out by kind of like counter jungling on the opposite side of the map, which is open for them to actually get, which is gonna be weird because they're not gonna be able to get the resources in the jungle at all.
And they will be probably bagging 1 weapon orb and 2 crystal orb early on in the game, so this will be a major problem to Leprechaun, especially again the early game. As much gold and experience is denied in their side. Really early aggression from Elite 8 over here.
Could happen once again. This might be the Achilles heel of Leprechauns, not being able to kind of follow through what Elite 8 kind of does. Again, like you said, Gold Oaks have been a pretty uncontested objective here, like little objective that can really give you a good boost in terms of like getting your items quickly. So this is very scary here for a start against Elite 8.
Like we're seeing right now, 1,000, almost 1,500 gold advantage for Elite 8. No kills yet, only contestants. And the jungle side.
Ooh, look at the damage in the mid. I mean, this Finn as well as the Vox. I mean, I guess range-wise, they are at a little bit of a discrepancy, but at the same time, it's not supposed to be what happens here. Look at Mr. Like God putting the hurt onto Nismo.
No
slapping
fear.
him down. Yeah, I mean, he has the shield and the energy, so he can basically just keep spamming his skill set there for as long as possible. And man, another no fear tactics here from Taka, just going in with the Chitin, smashing them down with the weapon power buff.
Official Hein being no fear in this one, trying to deal a decent amount of damage and probably denying experience from Russell so that he leads or he went back.
In the flank. Can actually get away. Ooh, the damage. Mawar is in a pretty bad spot, but he drinks the flask, he gets the heal, gets the shield.
And the first blood.
And the first blood, like you said.
So, again, the burst really is a game changer here. But let's see how Leprechauns will answer back with that first blood. Probably, let's see how Bang Bangs Malene will do the job from here.
I mean, this game is a little bit like, if you watch Lord of the Rings, this is more of like, I see you type of deals with Sauron, you know, seeing his opponents everywhere. And, I don't know, just a very bad comparison. But in any case, it seems like, once again, no stone has been left unturned. No resources has been wasted by Elite 8. Everything is on a silver platter to them, and they are just gobbling every resources up.
Again, almost 3,000 gold advantage for Elite 8. Only 4 minutes and the clock.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there we go again, the contestant of the Gold Oak. Meanwhile, just Russell over here taking damage from Han Diegos and company around the Phobia joining the fight and dancing in the middle again.
Nope.
Alright.
So a little bit of technical difficulties here, guys, but it's all good. We'll be coming back to this one, and just as what you've seen from that game number 1, it's kind of transitioning again, or is kind of like the same thing with game number 2. Like, again, we were hoping that Leprechauns would go for a pick that can contest in the early game, which they kind of did, but they went for a 4. I don't really know what to say about this.
4 carries.
It's a 4 carry comp that doesn't feel like it can contest in the early game. They got a Finn, which is good for that mid Vox, but like in trying to again counteract the rotations from Elite 8, it doesn't seem like it's easy for them.
Like, I'm thinking that they want late game to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they are heavily countered already by, especially the Tony, engaged by the Tony in the Arden. It can really be difficult for them to possibly farm, kite, or possibly snowball.
And I mean, it's all there. Like, if you can't counter them out early, it's like an investment. You know, if you invest in the early game, it can transition into the late. And from the looks of it, the investment plan of Leprechauns isn't bearing fruit. So as this game progresses, that might not be, or it might not really help them at all. What they're kind of banking on is maybe that the game kind of regresses to the point that they can get their items maybe in the mid to late game. But on how quick this game has been accelerating, it might not. It doesn't feel like that's gonna happen at all.
Yeah, especially like you said, the 4-man carry, item dependent again. Once again, especially the Vox. Again, if you're going to Vox Crystal Power, this will be spiking from mid to late game, especially the bounces. Yeah. But in this case, Vox is having struggles farming in the mid lane.
Yeah, and another kind of big thing here is that mobility-wise, there's not much mobility skills that you can see coming out from Leprechauns. I know that the Malene and the Vox are pretty mobile-heavy, but Gwen, Ringo, and even the Finn is pretty dang easy targets. Like, you got the Tony, like you said, has the taunt there, right? He taunts them in. Gauntlet goes in for the well, sorry, Arden goes in with the gauntlet. And even though they might have a crucible, that's still them trying to run away from all of that. And I don't feel like they can reposition well enough that they can get away from this, especially when you have a Taka that can just dive into your face and keep you in place. So, oh, did not see that actually rhymed. But yeah, it's going to be very scary for them to actually get away from that. And even Tony's ultimate might actually just be able to, you know, kind of destroy what they kind of want to in terms of position, because he can just blast everyone away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if the wrong thing here is, if Finn catches the wrong person, this will be game changer for them. Especially if probably Tony is caught by Finn. He can just bounce out and let everyone, or bounce everyone to the rest of the team.
Exactly. So right now, from the looks of it, I mean, it just felt like Leprechauns might be in a bit of a pickle, and I don't see. It doesn't feel like they might be able to. But of course, this is a competitive game, Vainglory nonetheless. There is that possibility that if they can last through all of that barrage coming out from Elite8, we might see a Game 3 come into fruition, guys. And again, back into our match. Beautiful.
Ooh, 110.
And they do have at least that one kill. But in terms of the gold, 10,000
gold advantage.
Yeah, for Elite8.
And only 4 minutes has been elapsed, and there we go. Like you're saying earlier, with that Taka keeping in place.
Yeah.
And now
or at least being able to stick to their opponents, and having that shield from the Arden is enough to absorb the damage from the turrets, and then opponent-wise, they're not really having that position that they want to, even though the Finn is good at keeping at least the targets stable or static for a split second. That split second is not enough for them to catch anybody, so...
This is again the first time that I'm seeing a weapon-powered Taka for the longest time.
I always use weapon power Taka or hybrid Taka, which people say is the disgusting Taka build. I'm not sure if it's still disgusting right now, but I mean, hey, I mean, I'll try to still make that happen.
Ooh, with a bounce. But we also bounce out from the screen. Meanwhile, Russell also having some damage in the Taka with that shield, and
Did he survive?
Did he survive?
Wow,
oh
official
no.
Hein. I mean, after through all of that, it was still a 1-for-1 exchange, but Russell kind of like swims through the damage of the Lorelei, and he pays the ultimate price with his life. Kelvin the Great 1v1 against the Lorelei. It's not really going to matter at all, as the Vox goes down once again. Nismo here with the Gwen, going for the pop shots, maybe even get a kill here on Mawar, but then look at Tony, just basically steam rolling, running them over with the help from the Kinetics ultimate right then and there. Wow.
Again, Han the Jaegers with the Lorelei, especially look at that burst damage with the swimming pole and the piranhas and everything. Following up with round of obvious taunt and punches. Everything goes well. And official Hein again doing his job as a Taka. Keeping one hero, like for example Gwen, away from the fight by bursting him down early on in the game. Like now, Liam has been spotted.
He just wanted to get the healing treant, man. Why you do this?
Why you do this? Come on, I just want one.
Just want the
Oh no.
The captain is pushing out the Ringo. Once you see a captain being able to push out a Ringo, you kind of don't want that to happen. But this isn't really a captain. It's Han Jaegers going for the auto attack Lorelei build, so that ability power is gonna hurt like a truck. And this is a 2v5 in the top lane. Nobody is able to catch them off. They're actually forcing themselves out, but the slows from the Lorelei is enough to kind of keep them at bay.
It's still 2v5 situation, but look at that first damage by the Lorelei. Keeping them away. No. This is our turf. Go back to your turf.
Yeah, just run away. And while that was happening, Ghostwing is, well, going to be a true ghost. We get the extra shields. And can we actually see the items for our teams here in this scoreboard? Just want to see it real quick.
It's still... there you go. So...
Tony with the new one.
Oh, this will really hurt a lot. Yeah. And Han the Jaegers with the Dragon's Eye and
Tension Bow for Nismo, Shattered Glass. So only one item apiece for the members of Leprechauns. Well, Elite8 are, I think, second or third item already. So this is basically a game stomper there for for Elite 8 here.
The one I'm really interested
Official
of,
9.
the one that's really interested of is the 2v5, and they can't kill anyone, or especially the 2, and that would be a shutdown. But that doesn't matter. Elite 8 will probably get into the bag. Leprechaun, you still have next month to join Vainglory 5v5 tournament for August, and congratulations to Elite 8 if they manage to destroy this Vein Crystal right now.
It is pretty tanky, and I mean honestly super tanky, but they're kind of like just trying to get more kills here. 4 to 22 already, pretty a crazy amount of kills for the Elite 8 roster. And another thing, we kind of said that the armory should be difficult to kind of destroy, like 7 minutes, 10 minutes into the game. But once you use these items, sorry, I bit my tongue. Items accelerated this quickly, it just becomes too easy, and there you go, poof.
Like there's Tension Bow, there's the Taka with the weapon power build, and Lorelei with the attack speed, crystal power. This can really, ooh, look at that burst. It's not really included in the game, but that's the capability of the Lorelei kinetic combo.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's gonna be a quick and painful game for Leprechauns. I mean, it seems like they could have done better. Yeah,
like they could avoid the errors from the first game. Unfortunately, they didn't yet, and they must learn on that one, especially if they up against a world class team like Elite 8.
Yeah, true that. I mean, Elite 8 were the ones who I believe were able to join last year's Worlds for Vainglory. So they have the experience, they have the ferocity to actually try to go and again control that early game, which is very, very important in a lot of these games we're seeing. And I mean, like from how the Vainglory game has changed, it seems like that hasn't at all. Like being able to control the early game, especially in Sovereign's Rise, is such an important task. But in any case, Elite 8, I mean, on their side, they had a clean game. Everything went to their hands.
Yeah, and like we saw earlier, early aggression really on Elite 8, like denying as much gold and experience as possible in the early get-go. And for example, all of them are level 7 and the rest are level 5. That would be really difficult for them to probably turn things around.
Yeah.
Even though there might be one way if for Leprechauns to go back to the fight if they ever saw Elite 8 error, but unfortunately Elite 8 is super well synchronized and well detailed as possible.
True that. So I mean, that concludes our first game here between Elite 8 and Leprechauns. So you can actually check out the tournament link to see how the other teams have been progressing at the Facebook page. There is a post there by Mobile Esports Arena for the tournament bracket, so you can check that out again at facebook.com/Mobile Esports Arena. And for now, we'll be taking a very short break, and when we get back, the second match, we'll see if we'll be checking for more Elite 8 games or give some love and see of the other teams that have joined for our June tournament. Again, my name is Asteroid. Of course, here with me now is
Y2K, and we'll be right back.